Hello everyone, Nika here with your Daily Neuro Nugget. I hope you had a fabulous weekend and happy Mother's Day to all of you ladies watching my videos. So we have a lot to talk about today. I know that in Friday's video I mentioned Boeing, and it's something that I still have not been able to get off of my mind. So I definitely want to delve into that in this video. Now, before we get started, I first want to thank every single one of you because last time I checked, we were almost at $500, which is amazing that we are coming together as a healthy, kind-hearted community to be able to help veterans like Craig who need to breathe. Now, Craig does have an oxygen tank and it's massive and it's extremely heavy. It probably weighs like 50 pounds. I don't know. It's huge. And that makes it very difficult for him to be mobile. So this oxygen compressor, it's like the little cross bags that are small. They produce oxygen, for a few hours at a time. And it makes it so that he can go out, he can make it to his appointments without having to miss them because he can't carry this massive thing around. So amazing. And of course, when we reach the goal, I will keep my promise, which was to pay the remaining $100 to $150 or so, depending on shipping and handling and tax. So we're going to surprise Craig, and I think he's going to be very, very happy. So if you guys want to donate to our favorite veteran Craig, please go to the description and the Cash App is there. So I also have a tea, and it's in my regular mug, and I have plantain tea. And let's be real, this tea is extremely bitter. It is not pleasant tasting in my opinion, but it makes up for it because the health benefits are immense. Now, if you are a high histamine responder like myself, so at this time of year, I'm allergic to everything, like all the grass, all the leaves, all the trees, all the pollen. And I also have some years a very large response to mosquito bites. Like I will get those huge welts. So if you are a high histamine responder, maybe try this plantain tea. Although it's very, very bitter, you can add just like a touch of salt and that will cut through the bitterness, or you can dilute it with water as well. So let me know down in the comments if you have had this tea before. And as with anything, make sure to do your own research and talk to your doctor, because I am just putting these teas out there. So I will not be held responsible for what you decide to do. But I like this tea, so cheers. Now, let's talk about Boeing, because I told you guys last time, if it's Boeing, I ain't going. Why is the internet continuously talking about Boeing? We know, especially if you look back in time, that Boeing they're an evil company. They're not good. But I also understand that companies are not forced to be ethical or moral. Their sole purpose is to make money. But there's a limit. Like you can't do things that are illegal and expect for those things to not bite you in the rear. So what is happening with Boeing? They are being exposed by whistleblowers coming out. And honestly, these whistleblowers, to me, they're heroes, because it takes a lot of courage to stand up against evil people, evil companies, especially when they're backed by millions and millions and millions. They're worth a lot of money. So these people are coming out, and also it appears that they are giving their lives or putting their lives on the line for us. Why do I say that? Because again, we are speculating that maybe, just maybe, Boeing is choosing to take them out. That's just one of many theories, or it could be a coincidence. But Boeing 737 MAX supplier Spirit Aerosystems is the company that provides materials to Boeing. So at the end of the day, it comes back to Boeing. I want to share with you guys a very ironic message that I saw, and it says, imagine being so greedy, you're willing to skimp out on basic safety, but then willing to dish out probably millions to delete the people exposing you. So They are referring to two whistleblowers that came out that were getting ready to talk in court about Boeing, and they just happened to pass away. But there are rumors saying that they were Epsteined, for lack of a better term. So I find it very interesting because one had warned close friends and family that if he was found unalived, he did not do it himself. So that from the get-go to me makes it very questionable. And some people are saying, how did he shoot himself in the back twice? Did he? Did he not? Did somebody else do it? What is going on? Now, the other man was healthy, non-smoking, non-drinking, and according to his friends and family, hit the gym regularly. And he was young, healthy, and within 2 weeks, gone. Just like that. So it's quite shocking. Now, the first whistleblower was John Barnett. So yeah, John Barnett is the man who basically said, I would never off myself, and ends up offing himself. Well, it was ruled that way. Then there is Joshua Dean, the young health nut who passes from an infection so rare, the doctor said he had never seen anything like it. Those were the words of the doctor. So how a young man gets like all these viruses and bacteria, which then gives him pneumonia, and then within 2 weeks he's gone, it's extremely rare. Again, not my words, but the doctors that saw him. So whistleblowers are exposing shadiness, right? And this shadiness related to Boeing is extremely concerning, and we should all be asking questions because this shadiness includes scrap metal being used for planes to meet deadlines. It includes Dawn dish soap being used as a lubricant for door seals. Would that make you feel safe if you are getting on an airplane and somebody tells you those doors were made of scrap metal and they lubricated the door seals with Dawn soap? I don't know about you, but I would definitely not get on that airplane. Some of the legal documents also state that they used hotel key cards and cheesecloths to perform maintenance. Okay, I've worked in a laboratory for a long time, and we have SOPs, standard operating procedures. So these are very detailed directions in books that you follow very strictly because you don't want to unalive accidentally a patient or give them a wrong test result or whatever. You need to know what you're doing. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume that an airplane company, especially one as massive as Boeing 737, has some sort of standard operating procedure to follow. So why were people using cheesecloths and Dawn soap and scrap metal and hotel keys to perform maintenance? Again, is that textbook protocol? Because it doesn't sound like it, right? That sounds like it would be for maybe a paper airplane that you would build in your kitchen with your 4-year-old son, but not for a Boeing 737. So one must wonder, these two whistleblowers that were getting ready to testify, suddenly gone just like that. Is it a coincidence? Or is there something more sinister going on behind the scenes? Boeing, very powerful company, and just to think that maybe a couple of bad eggs that either own massive stock or are part of Boeing could do something so horrible as to potentially poison a young man, as the internet theory goes, or to send somebody to unalive a man who had just said he would never unalive himself. When there is money involved in such a massive scale, I don't think those theories can be discounted. Again, this is very similar to the Idaho 4, right? Because we are starting with very strange coincidences. We're starting with a lot of money in this story here. And when you have a lot of coincidences and a lot of money on the line, aka Boeing potentially being exposed for even more horrible things that they may have done, it is just a matter of time, guys. I tell you, like I said with the Idaho 4, it's just a matter of time before the truth comes out, because it always does, okay? The truth is like, it's like a water fountain. The more you try to push it down, it's gonna come up with lots and lots of force. So knowing what Boeing has done in the past, and now learning about how many whistleblowers are coming out, engineers, highly educated whistleblowers. Well, all I'm gonna say is I'm definitely going to keep an eye on the rest of the whistleblowers, because if something happens to them, or they end up getting sick, or they pass away suddenly, or they just disappear and are never found again, well, we need to do something, right? Again, let me know down what you think of Boeing. What do you think about this company? Do you think that somebody within the company would potentially do something so horrible as maybe, just maybe, attempt to unalive a few whistleblowers? Why? To potentially scare the rest of the whistleblowers, right? If you can show the world that Boeing 737 whistleblowers have a very short lifespan, well, do you think other people are going to be comfortable coming forward and speaking the truth? Because fear, instilling fear in people, that's how you get them to quiet up, is it not? This is why I always say, look, it doesn't matter who is threatening you. If they're trying to silence you, don't be afraid. Once fear is in you, they've already instilled that in you, you have lost. You lost the game, baby. So don't let people corner you. Don't let them control you with fear or other emotions. So that's it for the day, guys. Again, if you would like to donate for our favorite veteran Craig, it's in the description below. And I also wanted to talk about this other case that I'm sure you guys have seen. Micah, the pastor, very crazy stuff. And it just makes me wonder, is there something in the water, or is everybody just losing their minds? Am I the only sane one here? I know there's other sane people, but really, I feel like we are in the minority. So you guys have a wonderful night. Take care and see you soon. Bye-bye.